This House has a duty to oppose this bill.
My Lords, it's a pleasure to speak after my noble friend. I welcome this bill and I support it wholly. There has been much talk of international law in the course of this debate, and I trespass on that territory with some trepidation because I am not a lawyer and I claim no expertise in jurisprudence, but it does seem to me that one should question some of the claims that have been made. It's easy to imagine the way that it has been discussed, that international law, simply because it is international, is some sort of supreme law, rather like sort of FIFA outranks UEFA, and UEFA is somehow higher than the Football Association. But that, of course, is not the case at all. And it's easy to imagine, the way it's spoken of, that a breach of international law is somehow akin to a criminal offence. Now, international law does, of course, create some criminal offences. The waging of an illegal war is one of them, but most of international law is much more akin to a sort of civil contract between parties, agreeing how they're simply going to conduct their business on something as mundane as the quality of sausages, for example. And that is where we are in this debate, and comparisons with Putin and other such extravagant claims are wholly grotesque and misleading. But there are other laws that are, in my view, higher than international law, and one of them is the law to maintain the integrity and the integrity of our own state. The protocol is a clear wound and severance in the integrity of the United Kingdom. And that is why this is a matter of interest, not simply to the people of Northern Ireland, but to all the people of the United Kingdom. Now, there's nothing new about this. Shakespeare, of course, had quite a lot to say about it. Shakespeare envisages a contract freely entered into, an onerous contract freely entered into, that can only be satisfied by an irreparable wound in the body, possibly a fatal one. And he specifically asks the question, how should the law deal with this? It's very easy to say that the answer is that the pound of flesh has got to be paid. And in my view, there are too many noble lords in the chamber today who have been insisting on the right of the European Union to demand its power of flesh, its pound of flesh. There are not enough lawyers who share the wisdom and humanity of Portia. But apart from the harm to the body politic that the protocol does, there is the question whether the protocol, far from being a shining pillar of international law, isn't in fact in flagrant breach of it. The noble Lord Bute gave a number of examples of how the protocol conflicts with other treaties that we're obliged to, and indeed which the Republic of Ireland is obliged to. And none of the legal experts I've heard speak in the course of this debate have addressed satisfactorily the question raised by the noble Lord Dodds of Duncairn and others as to whether it is in compliance with the Universal Convention, the Universal Declaration on Human Rights, and the European Convention, both of which guarantee a say to people in the laws under which they live, a democratic and representative say. That is denied to the people of Northern Ireland in respect of a large swathe of significant laws. That democratic deficit is recognised by our own Northern Ireland subcommittee here in this House. But no answer has come to that, and whether the protocol indeed is defensible. And that's also a point that goes to the question of those who say we should be using Article 16. Article 16 is a mechanism for adjusting the implementation of the protocol. But the democratic deficit in the protocol is not due to its implementation. It is at the very heart of the protocol. And this bill is necessary to deal with it. Nor, if I may say so, is the matter addressed by saying that the people of Northern Ireland, through the Assembly in Stormont, have an opportunity to vote on it, because one cannot vote away, and one's Parliament cannot vote away, fundamental human rights. So I simply say to those noble lords who somewhat wave the notions of rule of law and international law about as if they were simple, straightforward, knock-down arguments against this bill, that in my view, the whole matter is a great deal subtler and less robust than a less robust platform for them to rest their case on than they might think. And I am still open, though there are only few speakers left on the list, to hearing someone defend how the protocol is consistent with international law on human rights.